So now, hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum everyone. We'll be starting now. First of all, I welcome you all to the Gen AI Study Jams powered by GDSCs. This is the Gen AI Study Jams are conducted throughout the India, the wherever we have GDSCs. It is exclusive for GDSCs of India because nowadays we can see that Gen AI is a trending topic. In every app we see, in every website, there is a chatbot integrated to it. An app, every every application wants AI in it. So this is a trending technology, so that we need to get hands into it. We need to learn what's going on. For that reason, GDSC India has presented you this Gen AI study jams. So now let's see how is the course structure, how will be going, and what you will be learning in this course. All right, let me change my screen. You might receive a mail uh, from Google Cloud saying that congratulations, you are now enrolled to the Gen AI study jams, right? Who all have received? Obviously, all have received the mail, right? Can I get a raise of hands that who are first years here? Please raise your hands. Who all are from first years? Nice. Patan Ahmed Khan is from first year. Sayyid Khadri is from first year. Any more first year people? Shima is from first year. Israt. That's great. Second year people. Like, Saria is also from first year. Now, first year people, you raise your hands down, and second year people raise your hands. Let's see which audience is higher in this GenAI study jams. Second year people, please raise your hands. Abdullah Sharif is from second year. More second year people. Uh, Ayan is from second year. Nice, that's great. We also have many second years here. Third years, any third years here? Karishma is from third year. Nice. Hafsa is from third year. Shafa, Tisra. That's great. We have a diverse audience here. So now let's move on to our course structure and how we'll be proceeding in this course, right? So as you got the mail, we have three pathways to be completed to complete this GenAI study jams. The first pathway is prompt design in Vertex AI. So this will be the pathway in which you will be learning how to write good prompts to get a better output. You'll be also learning Vertex AI, which is a technology by Google. It is you can use Vertex AI in Google Cloud. Thus, that the reason we are using it. We are doing these labs in Google Cloud, right? So that you don't need to worry about the architecture. You don't need to worry about your laptop का कितना वो how much laptop capable है या नहीं है. You don't need to worry. Google Cloud will handle all the things, the API integration. But you need to click the right buttons. You need to give the right command. That's it. बाकी का it will handle itself. आपके सिस्टम पे nothing, no बार नहीं पड़ता, right? So I hope you all have, first of all, I hope you all have redeemed your subscription, which is like you have got this code. You need to, the last date is 15th May. Most of you have already redeemed it. If you have not redeemed and you are facing issues, we'll quickly walk through in this session. We'll also walk through Kebhi, how to do this. If you have done, you can wait for some time. Like you can see, you can just see. Then the second pathway is developing Gen AI application with Gemini and Streamlit. So as every app nowadays has a Gen AI integration, a chatbot in it. So what if we learn how to integrate Gen AI applications using Gemini and Streamlit? Gemini, you know about Gemini, how capable it is. It surpasses ChatGPT in many ways. You can see the results how you get when you ask to Gemini how it the proper result it gives. So using Gemini API and building the Gen AI applications will be very great thing to do. So then also using Streamlit. Like why we use Streamlit? It's like आपको UI बनाना है Gen AI applications में. So Streamlit is very good for that purpose. It's very famous for beginners, right? Then we'll second pathway is about Gemini and Streamlit, developing Gen AI apps. Then the third pathway is Gen AI archive game, which we have already done last in the last cloud campaign. That's the very easy pathway in which you will learn Gen AI using some games. Interesting. Raise of hands, please. Who all found this interesting? Raise of hands. Raise of hands. आगे नहीं बढ़ता मैंने तो. Right. Nice. Thank you. So now let's dive in from here. Our cloud lead Maria Muruj will take over and walk you through how to use Google Cloud platform. See, Google Cloud आप बोल रहे होंगे कि भाई we are learning GenAI. Then why you are going to Google Cloud? कहीं को जा रहे हैं आप? The thing is आपको ऐसा आर्किटेक्चर हर एक का अवेलेबल नहीं रहता. So to surpass that, we use Google Cloud Platform, as already I said, right? Now I hand over the stage to Miss Maria Muruj. She'll be now presenting the screen. Thank you, guys.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Am I audible to all? Just a yes would be
Yes, you
nice.
are.
Okay, thank you. Is my screen visible to everybody?
Yep, it is.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I hope the first thing I want to show you guys is how we are going to start the process. Okay, when you go to the email that you have registered yourself from, okay, the new email that you created for this particular program, you will receive the congratulation enrollment email that Aleem showed, right? Once you please open that up, everyone. Once you have opened it, just raise your hand like after you're done opening the email. Okay, I hope everybody is on the same level. Do it with me, all right? Okay, 9 people have done it. Okay, no more. 14 have done it. 15. Okay, fine. Great. Once you come to that email, you will be seeing a few codes here. Okay, so for these codes are for each of this pathway. There are 3 pathways that Ali mentioned. For each pathway, we have a code. For the first 2 pathways, we have the same code. For the level 3, the arcade game, we have a different code. So we will do that. This will be redeemed later. These ones, we need to redeem it right now. So I'll just show you how we are going to do that. First of all, once you scroll down, you will see this link. So just left click it, right click it and open link in incognito window. Okay. This will take a minute to load. You are in. Now they're asking for the code here. Okay. The code is ye wala. Okay. Just copy it. Control C. This is the same code that you see over here. Okay. Just copy it and paste. Paste. And then do the I'm not reCAPTCHA and submit. Once you have submitted, okay, here you will see the first lab, that is a tour of the Google Cloud hands-on lab. Okay, we will do this lab Okay, throughout our pathways, you will, how many of you attended the cloud study jams that happened earlier last year? Okay, we have a lot of people. Okay, so basically this study jam will also have similar labs, okay? But in terms of the topic, generative AI and all of that. So for that, you will be using the cloud platform like Ali mentioned. So you need to be familiar with the Google Cloud platform. So we will run this one lab to see how to do it and all of that, okay? So let's get started with it. Okay, sign in with Google. I'll sign in with Google. You need to sign in with your account that you have mentioned, okay? My account, because this is incognito mode, you will already not be signed in. Like you will have to re-sign in there, okay? So I'll just sign in. 1 second. I hope everyone is with me. Like do this all with me, okay? Okay, now that you have signed in, you can see here, I'll just show you around. First of all, this is the title of your lab. Then this is the timer. This is the maximum amount of time this lab would require you, okay? If this timer runs out, then you will not have access to the lab resources, okay? This is the complete, all the steps, all the tasks of the lab. You get like basically table of contents just, okay? You can see there are 5 tasks in this. Okay, task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5 in this one lab, okay? Uh, through these tasks, we will see what all is there in the Google Cloud platform, okay? So first step, click Start Lab button. Okay, once you click Start Lab button, you will see a couple of things here. There is a username, there is a password, there is a project ID. Okay, username, password they have given. Basically, they have given you a temporary account where you can run a temporary account with the cloud platform facilities where you can do your lab. Okay, so first step, open Google Console. When you press Google, open Google Console, you'll have to sign in again. Sign in through this username and password. Okay, so automatically username will be written. Click next. Then password यहाँ से copy कर लो. Next. And we are in. Click I understand. Okay, here we are. We are at the Google Cloud. Okay, I agree and continue. Okay, we are in. Now here there are a lot of things. See, don't be intimidated by looking at a lot of things here. Most of it is very simple, and we will in the labs they will instruct you to use only what is required. So you don't need to be worried about things that you're not understanding. Okay, but I'll give you an overview of what is what. Okay, first things first. This top left me, okay, where my mouse is. This is your lab, your project's name. Okay, this is your project name. At the moment, it is some random numbers whatsoever.
I guess the formula was
Sorry. Do you have a question? Somebody unmuted. Okay, let me continue. Okay, so this is the name of your lab. This is the name of your project, and this is the ID of your project. Okay. This is the project information, same thing, project number, etc., etc. You can also, when you click all here, you will also see some other stuff. Okay, this is the Apna project. This is Quick Lab resources. Quick Lab resources. Actually, once you go ahead with your labs, okay, there you will find certain labs that will require you to use the Quick Lab resources. Quick Lab resources are some are shared resources, read-only shared resources, where you as a user will not be able to make any editing changes or whatsoever. You can just read them. Okay, read-only resources. Yes, you can use them in your project. You can transfer them to your project and use them, but you will not be able to edit those resources. And those are open resources to all the people in our program. Okay, in our study jam program. So on and so forth. This is the project information. Then you come to the menu side. Okay, this is the menu. Here the direct dashboard, cloud overview से dashboard में आ जा सकते हैं. ये dashboard है. You have monitoring box, then API, get started, etc., etc. In the menu, you will see a lot of products here. Okay, so these are the Google products, cloud products that are available. You can click view all products, which will take you to a page where you will be able to see different types of products. Like these are management products: API, billing, AMI, admin, Google Cloud Setup, admin to Gemini. Then compute products, computation, virtual machine stuff related things. Okay. Then storage products required for structured storage, non-structured storage, etc., etc. Okay. Then analytical, and so on and so forth. You will see a lot of them here. Okay, many of which will be utilized during our study, this entire program. Okay, when you're doing the labs, each of them will be utilized depending on the lab. Okay, this is the menu. Till here, is everything clear? Like, are you guys understanding the interface and everything till here? A message, you can drop down a message, or somebody can unmute and talk as well. Okay, cool. Okay, fine. Let me continue. Okay, next thing. Okay, there are two ways of first way of communicating on this dashboard will be directly clicking things and going through the stuff. Okay, next way will be through command shell, cloud command shell. Okay, depending on your usage, you can put a particular command and activate certain APIs, or certain you can do certain functions basically. So to access the cloud shell, you need to click this button, and then it will take a minute to load. Okay, certain labs require you to use cloud shell, certain labs do not require you to use cloud shell. Okay, so here you have a command you can write in a command and then proceed with it. Okay, and just close this for now. Okay, let's go through our lab.
Hello.
G. Hello, yes.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt, madam. Uh, some people are asking whether we have to again credits का करना है क्या फिर से बोल के. So no, बस who all have not done, they need to follow. Others just see.
Yeah, others just follow with just watch what we are doing. Rest of you who have not done it, the credits part, do it with me now. Okay, once you complete this lab, you will see the credits in your profile. Okay, so I'll just show you around now. Okay, now let's do our task one. Task one, we started the lab. Yeah, same thing. Okay, Google console करे अपन, start करे lab, login करे, etc., etc. सब हो गया. यहाँ तक अपन dashboard खोल लिए. Okay, already. So let's answer a couple of questions. Okay, what field is not found in the left panel? This is the left panel, right? इसमें क्या चीज नहीं है? System admin, project ID, open Google Cloud Console, password. Anybody can tell me what is the correct answer here? Unmute and tell me, or put it in the message box. Do you guys want to see the options again? See, system admin, project ID, open Google Console.
System admin.
Yes, correct. Seema, I guess, right? Congratulations. Yes. Submit. This is the correct answer. Okay. Next question is the username in the left panel, which resembles so and so, is a cloud IAM ID. basically IAM identity, IAM in cloud is basically, I'll show you once here. Okay, यहाँ पे है देखो IAM. Once you open IAM, what happens is, see, cloud पे अपन क्यों कर रहे कोई भी project? In general, if you think about it, it is because easier access to resources that are not available to us locally, and on top of that, also collaboration, so that other people in the team can also work on the project. Okay, so क्या करता when IAM, what it does is, it gives specific facilities to specific members of the project depending on their role. For example, अगर मैं एक storage manager, okay, storage admin हूँ मैं, okay, and the other person is supposed to be just the front end admin, okay, front end developer and the storage related back end developer, particularly storage related stuff. Okay, so I don't need to edit or make any edits to the front end and all. So I will not have access to the front end development part of the project. I can see it, we'll just have read only access, but main management, main editor access or me will be in the storage department, whatever storage services I'm using, etc. Whereas the front end developer, okay, they will not have access to the back end parts of stuff. They will only have access of editing to the front end part of things of the project. So that way, what happens? Errors, mistakes होने से अपन रोक सकते. So that is what IMA does. So yes, this is one account. True कर देंगे ये भी. Then we have the project information that I told you guys about. Same thing, project name, project ID, project number. Okay. There are a couple more questions. Anybody would like to answer these? An organizing entity for anything you build in Google Cloud. Organizing entity. Basically, they are asking, okay, Google Cloud पे आप जो भी build कर रहे हैं, it comes under what? Okay, a project. Okay, submit, and then Quick Lab resources is shared read-only with all Quick Lab users. This is what I mentioned earlier. Remember, Quick Lab resources is shared read-only with all Quick Lab users, which means you cannot delete or modify it. Read-only का मतलब क्या है? That you cannot make edits to it. Edits मतलब modify, nor you can delete them. Okay, so true. Lastly, we have Quick Lab resources is a project where you can run all your lab steps. Is this true or false? It's false, okay? Because we are going to do our lab steps in our project, not the Quick Labs project, okay? False. Next, we have our next task is roles and permissions. Roles and permissions, yes. See, based on the roles you have, you will have specific permissions, okay? जैसे कि अगर I am storage admin, I will have storage permissions. I will not have front-end related permissions. If I am the front-end developer of the project, I will have permissions for the front-end related stuff, not the storage, and so on and so forth. Okay. Next, few more questions. Offer quick access to platform services and also outlines its offering. Okay. तो अपने को यहाँ पे कहाँ पे services पूरे मिल जाते by clicking what? Can somebody tell me? Are you guys writing in
Navigation
yes?
menu.
Yes, correct. Navigation, sorry. Navigation menu. When you click the navigation menu, you're able to see all the services. So navigation menu is the correct answer. Submit. Basic roles, set project level permissions, and unless otherwise specified, control access management to all cloud services. Okay, see, what this question is asking is, some basic roles are already set, okay, whenever you open a project. But otherwise, if I want to make some certain changes, I can do it. Control access management to all. Yes, some basic roles are already set. And then when I make the project, I can make changes to it. वैसा. Basic roles क्या है? अब अपने project में यहाँ पे है एक owner role set होके for this participant, for me, like this is my ID here. Okay, so for me, editor and viewer access देखे हैं. For this ID, ये लोग BigQuery, owner, storage admin वो access दे देखे हैं, roles दे देखे हैं. Okay, so some basic are already set. So that's why true. Lastly, provides all viewers permissions plus permissions for actions that modify state, such as changing existing resources. Provides all viewer permissions. कौन सा role provide करता है? All viewer permissions plus permissions for actions that modify state, such as changing existing resources. Okay, viewer permissions plus permissions to modify. So what role will that be? Viewer role or editor role या Google Cloud Project? Anybody?
Editor role.
Editor role. Perfect. Okay. अपना fourth task है API and services. API and services में अपने को क्या करना है? Step 1. Okay. Go to the navigation menu. Navigation menu में गए तो you can see first is API and services. Unless it is not pinned for you, you might have to search it down below. लेकिन most लोगों के लिए pinned रहता है यहाँ पे. तो click API and services. Okay. Once you click API and services, you will see here some ऐसा dashboard दिखता है आपको API related चीजों का. And on the left side, you will see all of these things: library, credentials, authentication, etc. Click on library. Okay. Once you click on library, you will be able to see there are a lot of APIs. Okay. Which API do we need to use? We need to use Dialogflow API. Okay. Dialogflow API यहाँ पे कहाँ है? Let's see. We have it under machine learning. Let's click on it. Click on it and then click enable. This will take a minute. Let it load. Okay. Till here, everybody has reached, like the people who had not done the process till now. Okay, chalo. This is done. Now, since we have enabled it, you can see यहाँ पे disable API का भी option आ गया. There are a lot of other stuff down below. You don't need to be concerned with that for the first lab. Maybe later on for certain labs you might be working with that. Okay. अब यहाँ तक कर दिया आप. API enable कर दिया. Okay. Click try this API. Let's see where is try this API. One second, library. Yeah, try this API. Start. There are a lot of things here. Okay, let's skip this for a moment. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, यहाँ पे see certain labs will be tracking your progress. Okay, such as this. Okay, when I click check my progress. Okay, assessment. I have enabled the dialog API. That's why it is showing success. Okay, unless I would not have done this, this would have been complete the task or something like that. So a lot of labs ahead will be tracked this way. So now let's check this. Okay, when you start a lab, you need to enable API in your project to start working with Google Cloud. True or false? False. You don't need to always use an API. Depending on your project, you might need to use an API, you might not need to use an API. Okay, so you can start working with Google Cloud without enabling a particular API as well. Okay, and last task is ending your lab. See, initially I mentioned, right, that 45 minutes ka timer hai yahan pe balke. That was the maximum time required for you to finish a particular lab, but we were able to complete it much more quicker, right? So that's it. You can press end lab. End lab. You can give your rating for that particular lab. You will be prompted to here. You can give. You can write some comments and then submit. You're done with your lab. Once you are done with your lab, you should click on your profile. You will see here 9 credits. Okay. If you do not see 9 credits, you might see monthly subscriber or something like that also. Check and tell me if you are able to see or not. Everybody open up your profile, click on your profile and tell me if you are able to see 9 credits here or monthly subscriber here or not. If you're once you see it, just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, perfect. Anybody who is unable to see, anybody here? If you are unable to see, please tell me in the messages here in the chat. Zero credits. Okay. Try reloading the page, Anas, once. You completed the lab, right? If you have not completed the lab, it might show 0 credits. Once you have pressed end lab, reload the page if it is showing 0 credits still. Monthly subscription bata raha. Okay, good. That works too. Either 9 credits batata hai ya nahi to monthly subscription batata, depending on your account. Anybody else other than Anas? Anas, ek baar reload kar lo page. I'm pretty sure it will be visible. Okay, that's it. Your credits now in. You can start with your labs. Aleem, who will Ryan be taking over?
Yep.
Yes.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, guys. I just want the chat to be extremely responsive. Wait, let me. Am I audible, guys? You guys can open your mic and
Yes, you
just
are
reply to
audible.
me. Okay. All right. So is my screen visible now? Wait. Is my screen visible, guys? Chat, is my screen visible?
Yes, your
Okay.
screen is
So,
visible.
all right. So now that Mariam have explained you about how this Google Cloud Console works, we'll be starting with what generative AI is and what is a prompt and how do we design it. So I'm sure most of you guys are here because you've heard the name AI and you wanted to know more about what AI is and you wanted to learn more about AI. Is that correct? Chat, respond chat. Open your mics and just respond to me. Yes. So how many of you guys know what AI is? Like how exactly is that built? Shima Sadaf says yes. Rashid, Juwaria, Insia Mariam, yeah. So wait. Basically, what artificial intelligence is it is actually something that mimics human intelligence. Now, this is the kind of definition that you read in your textbooks, right? I don't want to bore you with something like that. So I've prepared for you guys some stupid drawing that you can look at and learn what AI is. Let me navigate to where we were. So yeah, right now you are here. You have this question about what is an artificial intelligence, right? Let me break it down component wise. The first thing that AI is, it is made up of 3 to 4 layers or 3 to 4 subjects. One of the core foundations of AI comes from statistics. Now you might wonder why statistics and why how is intelligence related to statistics. Let me give you some examples where this is useful. For example, if you open Gemini and it says hello Ryan, and if you type in hi Gemini, you can see that this is trying to respond with some answers like hi, how can I help you today. Now you know that these answers, there are a couple of ways where we can program this Gemini to do this, right? One of the ways could be you can respond whenever the question comes in as hi, you can respond with hi, how can I help you today. But but the other way, the intelligent approach would be to look at all the possible responses that can be generated, and then try to teach the AI ki, whenever somebody says hi, you have to say a certain number of words, right? For example, if a person says hi, a pretty common response would be, how can I help you today? Or if I say hi, another response could be, hi, good morning, how are you doing today? Or something like that, right? Now, these are a particular set of words that were pre-trained to the model. Now, let me not sound so okay. So whenever I say hi, these words that come up, these are generated on the uh, by the artificial intelligence machine. So how are these generated? These are generated through statistics and probability. What this does is this AI will try to calculate the probability of the next word that comes after this word. Uh, are you guys on the same page? You guys can respond in the chat or you can open the mic. Okay, Saria, Shima, these guys, they say yes. All right. So artificial intelligence is made up of statistics and computer science. Now, why computer science? Computer science is because statistics is only theory, and they have these models and pretty amazing structures, but they cannot implement it on a machine. You need to write code to control the computer's hardware to give you the exact output that you want, right? So that is another part of it. And then the third layer, that is, it is mathematics. Now you might ask, why mathematics, Rayan? Because it is the language of the universe. Because there are a lot of functions that are found in nature. Found in nature. For example, you have these e power x, you have this log of x, you have this tan of x. These are pretty common functions that you find everywhere, right? You find everywhere. So you standardize this and you use this everywhere in your AI applications. Now the other subjects that are also a part of mathematics is linear algebra. uh, what is linear algebra? What linear algebra is you have things, right? For example, you might have an apple. Say you have an apple, and say you have a mango. Okay. So when you try to add these two things, what do you say? You never say I have an app mango. You always say I have an apple and I have a mango. Whereas if you have two apples, say you have an apple, then you have another apple. You can combine them, and you basically tell ki you have two apples. So this is a pretty uh, basic understanding of why vectors are important. Because if you think about it, uh, an apple and a mango, these both can be thought of as separate dimensions. For example, you cannot add these, right? They follow a certain set of rules that dimensions follow. So that is what the vectorish stuff means. All right. Also, yeah, this is basically some examples that I've tried to present. You have these two properties that are very important in vectors. The first one is addition, and the second one is multiplication. If you look up and read these topics, you'll get to know. So I was deviating from the topic. Let me go back to uh, where we were. So right. Now let me ask you this very important question from this lab. What is a prompt? Now I just told you ki AI is a very powerful machine. It can do whatever that you train it for. For example, if you train it for military applications, then it'll be better than human beings. For example, if you train it to be a drone which can kill people, so this AI will be better than any manual drone that military currently uses. Now, I might be banned from YouTube if this video ever goes live. Anyways, coming to the topic, this prompt is something that controls our model. This image shows you what a prompt is. Basically, if you think of the LLM or the large language model or the generative AI as a big monster, which is made up of data, The as I just mentioned about this, all of this data that was here, it has been trained for this model, right? So if this large language model is made up of data, then this prompt is what controls this large language model. Whatever that we want out of this data is placed very intelligently inside of this prompt. Now, there are a lot of ways that we can design this prompt to get the desired output that we want. So in this lab, this is the first lab of prompt design in Vertex AI. In this lab, we'll be figuring out some pretty common use cases that are discovered by people from all over the world. Okay, so how many of you guys have just this lab open right now? Okay, so there are a few raise of hands. Mudassir, Omar, Moise. Yeah, so I would recommend ki all of you guys just start doing this lab along with me so that you don't get overwhelmed or you're not confused whenever you're trying to do it alone. Okay? Uh, it would be better if you can unmute yourself and just speak to me directly. Or just drop something in the chat. Okay, Javeria asked, do we continue in the incognito window? So this is a very pretty common doubt. Whenever you start this lab, I'll be starting this lab right now. Okay. So it says whenever you are in, so do not deviate from there are two ways to open this console. Either you can open this in this window itself, but usse hoga ka कि the credentials of your personal emails and all, it will be visible in this console. So we don't want that to happen. That is why we open this in a private window, because as you can see, it gave me the email directly. Now let me show you if I try to open it my normal window. See, it shows me my current accounts, right? So yeah, we are trying to avoid this. Is that clear, Javeria? Okay, I'll be moving forward, and okay, let me share this side by side. Okay, so it took my project ID, and now I'll try to log it. So I'll copy over this password and enter. Okay, so now I've entered my Google Cloud Console. Suppose you are a cloud engineer, you're working on a project with Google Cloud, you will always see this dashboard. So the quicker you familiarize yourself with this platform, कि इसमें ये button क्या कर रहा है, what can I do with this, the better. So what you have to do in this first lab is read these instructions पहले. तो इसमें it is telling me to open this Vertex AI workbench. Now, okay, how many of you guys are following along? So Abdur Razak said that he's lost it. Can you tell me where exactly are you stuck? Did you guys open this lab? Okay, at student login. So did you open it in the incognito window या फिर बाजू खोल ली? Okay, if you guys have any problems logging in, you can end this lab right now and restart it again so that there are no other issues. ठीक है, you've opened it in the incognito window. So you can also unmute and just tell me directly कि क्या चल रहा. How to go to the lab. Pehले tell me, are you able to see this dashboard? Wait, I'll show you again. I'll actually close this. It says open cloud console. I right click on this and then I open it in a private window. ठीक है, and it gave me this email or phone. यहाँ पे I've entered this username. Is that clear? ठीक है, so Abdur Razak says he's got it. Everybody else, आप लोग the account was recently deleted, maybe cover next to it. Okay, so this is a very interesting question. Ki the account was recently deleted and may be recoverable. You click next to attempt to resolve this account. ये basically हो रहा क्यों बोले तो whenever you create this start lab button, it creates a new Google account and it assigns you these credentials, right? Whenever you click on this end lab, the account associated with this lab's session, mind you, this session has an associated Google account. So if you end this lab, वो account बंद हो जाएगा. So what I think what you're trying to do is पुराने session का account access करने की कोशिश करें. So I think you should end this lab, close that other tab, and then restart this lab again. Is that clear, Rafik? You can't. Okay, you can't find this lab. Alim, is anybody else available here? Can you drop the link to this in the group chat? Wait. Or just wait. ठीक है, I'll. Okay, somebody posted the link. Thank you, Mariam and Sadvik. You can open this from here, Abdul Majid. Okay, now the time is running out and I've started my lab, so I'll continue with this. It says me to sign in. Okay, take this password and I. ठीक है, now you must remember कि ये जो project ID यहाँ पे बता रही Quick Labs dash GCP. This is important. This you'll need this later on in the project. ठीक है, so I'll quickly go over the steps. Okay, there is also one more thing that I forgot to mention. ये जो whatever tasks that are mentioned as checkpoints, even if you complete only these, your lab will be successfully completed. Okay, so you don't have to complete all of the tasks. Instead, just focus on doing these checkpoints. Okay, now I'll start with the first task. यहाँ पे it says me कि you have to go to the Google Vertex AI Workbench. Now अभी if you're new to this platform, आपको ये सवाल आएगा कि what is this Vertex AI Workbench? ठीक है, so you can read this. It says one AI platform, every ML tool you need. What this means is Google made their own AI platform where you can build ML projects, ML in terms of machine learning and AI, you call them pipelines and project, what what do we call them? The complete project tools, whatever frameworks that you need. For example, you have PyTorch, you have TensorFlow, all of these will be embedded in one platform. So that is Vertex AI. ठीक है, I'll go over to Vertex AI page. Okay. First, I'll start by enabling all the recommended APIs. Sometimes you guys may face issues later on. इसीलिए पहले ही ये enable कर लेना, it is a safe option. So I think I've enabled all these APIs. Whenever you enable an API, you'll get a notification here कि these APIs are enabled. So you can see here that my APIs have been enabled. ठीक है, so I'll go on to this Workbench platform. Okay, so what it says कि यहाँ पे you have to open this user managed notebooks. So this is the dashboard of the Vertex AI Workbench, where you can access different types of Jupyter notebooks and other AI models that you're building. Okay, I'll go over to this user managed notebooks, and it says the new Workbench instance. It was okay. I don't want to read all of that. I'll just open this Open Jupyter Lab. Okay, so this is a generally you won't see this notebook when you open your like Google in your Google console in your normal account. But यहाँ पे as it is associated with this lab, यहाँ पे they've given you these files to work with. Okay, so now I've opened my Jupyter Lab. Now I'll try to read through this and I'll explain what is actually going on. So are you guys following along? I'll take a 2-minute break maybe to see how you guys are doing. Are you guys at the same page? Or am I going too fast? Or am I going too slow? Should I speed up? Should I be more slow? Okay. Could you repeat the last step, please? So what I did was I opened this dashboard. Sadhvik, are you in this dashboard? Can you see this dashboard? ये जो Vertex AI का workbench है, I've opened this Vertex AI, and inside of it, I opened this workbench. Okay, and there I went over to user managed notebooks. There I saw this generative AI Jupyter Lab, right? Please respond, Satvik. At least tell me that you found this. Okay. So you
Yes.
click on this Open Jupyter Lab. Nice. So you click on this Open Jupyter. This will open up this new window. Now all of the lab that you're going to do will be in this window only. So please focus your attention on this window itself. Okay, so I'll be continuing chat. Just tell me if I should stop and maybe explain something else. Okay, Osama bin Nasir says there is no notebook. So did you switch over to this user managed notebooks? Just check कि your view is of user managed notebooks. ठीक है, nice. So done. When you've opened this, देखो, basically this will give you a cloud platform जहाँ पे you can access all of the Python scripts and all of those libraries, but in a cloud environment. Now this looks like a pretty क्या बोलते हैं उसको, like a development IDE. If you've used VS Code or any other IDEs, this will be very familiar कि it looks exactly like that. So इसमें this is running in the cloud. As you can see, it'll show me somewhere कि you're using this much GB of RAM, you're using this much GB of resources. When you, okay, I'll show you exactly how this works. Anyway, so I'll be continuing. यहाँ पे it is telling me to navigate into the generative AI folder. I'll just go into this. Make sure you're not lost here because this is the step where most people get lost. So inside of generative AI folder, I am going into the language folder. Okay. Are you guys following? Okay, so now I'll just go into the prompts folder. Okay, I've reached here. Umar Satvik. Okay, so open this Jupyter notebook. Intro to prompt design. So this is the notebook that we will be working in. All right. Okay. So now there are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there are these 6 tasks that need to be completed. Generally, how you do this is you go over this notebook and read through every instruction. Key first instruction, and most of these instructions are linked to each other. So if you skip uh, an intermediate step, it might affect the progress later. So make sure कि आप read कर रहे हैं whatever is going on here. So the first section is basically comments, so you can just get over. It says overview. This notebook covers the essential of prompt engineering. Yeah, we know that. Be concise, be specific. Okay, so there are a few prompt. Okay, we've just discussed key prompt is a very powerful messiah who can control this big monstrous LLM, right? So these are some ways that we can design our prompts in order to get the tasks done. For example, it says ki you should be concise, which means ki you should use a limited amount of words. Now, why is it telling you this? Because generally, you have a limit to the prompt, right? You have some 200 words, 300 words. So you should always be limited with your or economical with your word choice. Okay? And then be specific and well defined. What this means is ki you should not expand your or elaborate your sentences. Rather, be very specific and well defined. For example, you should not tell me ki tell this ki generate me a a program for controlling my computer's network settings. So you're not very specific. For example, you have not told the LLM key what programming language to use and what is your operating system. So all of these parameters are not mentioned in the prompt. So you should always mention something like this. Later in the lab, you'll see कि what difference does this make. कि imagine कि दो persons have and both of these people use the same LLM. They have the same monster, but somebody is utilizing a better prompt and getting efficient results. So uh, at the end of the day, uska prompt ka jo result आएगा, that will be much more better than the other guys. So all of these steps are written in the documentation as well, right? Yeah, all of these steps are exactly written here in this notebook. Okay, so I'll just explain what the second slide does now. Okay, the second line and third line is basically installing a bunch of dependencies. इसमें हो रहा क्या बोले तो this 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 whole environment is using Python as its base language. So pip install Google Cloud API. There's mentioning some version and upgrade and user. So what this does is कि it is trying to install this SDK inside of this in the lower environment. As you can see, कि it just switched from busy to idle. इसका मतलब कि this has stopped executing and it has downloaded all of these files. Up sometimes later you might see some errors, but see, you might see some errors like pips resolver does not currently take into account all other packages, this behavior source. All of these errors, you can just ignore these, or sometimes, okay, at the end of the day, it just mentioned कि it successfully installed all of these dependencies. Uh, Sometimes you have to ignore these errors because ये जो errors are, these are based on the versions that the particular Jupyter notebook is using. Anyway, I'll install the second dependency as well. So here it is mentioned कि you can sometimes ignore all of these dependency warnings. ठीक है. And then the third one. Okay, first let me ask you guys, how many of you guys are familiar with Python here? Okay, Azim, 3, for how many of you are not familiar with Python or any other programming language? So I got like 8+ responses. Okay, somebody said just the basics. Madhya, okay. So I think you can pretty much run this complete lab without completely understanding because Python is very user friendly. But for now, I'll just continue. You can keep learning Python along the way. You can also complete this lab. ठीक है, I'll just okay. It gave me a warning. Kernel restart. I'll just press OK. ठीक है, and then I'll wait for the restart to finish. Okay, it gave me this status restart true. Let me try to run this. So this command ran. What? Okay, now let me just do these basic stuff. Okay, in this line, देखो यहाँ पे this line is, you must be careful of this here. It says your project ID. So what you guys should do is go back to this window where we started the lab and copy over the project ID, right? And then wait, let me full screen this. Paste it in this cell. Okay, this is one step that you have to do here. Afterwards, everything is easy only. Okay, so I'll run this. This ran successfully. Wait, let me go over and check upon this. Okay, did you guys paste the project ID? Did you guys copy the project ID and paste it over there? Okay, done. So you have to take this project ID, basically जो भी credentials थे यहाँ पे, username, password, whatever that you used to log in, उसके नीचे एक project ID भी दिखा था. You need to copy this from here. All right, and then go over to this cell under import libraries. उसके अंदर you will see कि project ID के नाम का एक variable है, ठीक है? So inside of this variable you need to paste this project ID. It also has a region ka variable, but I think it is the same, US East 4. Okay, I can also copy this region here because it is different. So I'll just rerun this again. Okay, what I did was I copied this from the credentials wala section. Okay, done. Abdullah, have you followed? मैं यहाँ से copy किया and then I pasted it in my lab under this section, import libraries, project ID and region. And I ran this again. Even if you copy and did not run, वो नहीं चलेगा, right? So I'll just run this. Okay, you can see a star button while it is running, and after it's completed, it will show you the sequence number. Like seventh means the cell was seventh to be executed. Okay, so I'll just load this model. Basically, in every AI workflow, you will see the same kind of structure. पहले you will be loading some of the dependencies. Here you will just import these. What does import do? Are you guys aware of what import does? Okay, Abdullah Zubair says कि फिर से बोलो. So I just copied यहाँ से जो project ID है यहाँ से. I just copied it from here. And I pasted it in this import libraries का cell. Project ID and region. Yep, import command integrates the entire library. It imports the stuff required. Okay, so there are two conflicts here. Javaria is telling it imports the entire library, whereas Amina says it imports the required libraries. How did you got the import library? What do you mean? How did you got the import library? I just installed it. यहाँ पे whatever that I installed ऊपर, I'm just importing it here. Uh, okay, I just scroll down यहाँ पे नीचे and wait, I'll show you. See, you have these pip wale commands. Under these, you have this. When you run all of this, status okay, import all of that. You have this import libraries ka heading. Can you see this? I just open that as it. उसके बाद I'm unable to follow. Okay, you've opened this Jupyter notebook, right? पहले क्या करो? Just go up here and run this first command, which says कि pip install Google Cloud API platform. Just run this. How do you run it? You click on this cell. उससे वो cell active होगा. उसके बाद you have this button up here, right? Play button दिखता here. ठीक है? You click on this and it will run this command. And after that, it will show you all of these logs. कि it has installed this, it has installed that. ठीक है? So you try to do that. Okay. Zubair, just tell me after you've completed this pip wala command. Yeah, all of these steps are written in the documentation as well. How did you got all the code on the screen? Okay. I mean, you just have to open this. Okay, I think you might not have opened this. I navigated to this section that it said key go over into these folders, language, prompts. Inside of it, open this intro to prompt design file. We're working in this file. I think this part is being stretched, so I'll just move on. Zubair, if you have any issues, you can read the file. यहाँ पे make sure कि you have opened this intro to prompt design file. उसके बाद just do one thing कि copy that use project ID and paste it inside of this import folder. Anyways, so I think we can continue. So after you've imported this, I'll just make sure to rerun this again, just to be sure. ठीक है, I copied this project ID and region from there and I pasted it here. उसके बाद I'm running these cells in order. Also, one more thing, if you mess up the order, you have to rerun the file from ऊपर से again, because sometimes you might face some errors that I'm not saying here. ठीक है, so if you don't paste this project ID and region, you'll most likely see those errors. So make sure कि you're doing this essential step of copying this and pasting it over here. ठीक है, उसके बाद I'll start with this be concise thing. So basically in your application, imagine कि you have to develop a Python script or a Python application where you have to access this large language model and give a prompt, right? Oh, wait, I'll just search. Okay, it says module is not currently. Okay, you have all of these errors. Just try to rerun this from the first cell again. Pip's dependency resolver does not take into. Yeah, module not found error is when your import fails. So ऊपर जाके वो pip वाले cells एक बार फिर से rerun करो. Are most of you guys copied the project ID and region from that page? Can you do a recap of all you've done so far, please? I need a poll key. Can I proceed? Have you guys copied? Yes, I have copied. Just type in I have copied. ठीक है, I'll just recap it again. What I did was I started this lab, ठीक है, and then I opened it in an incognito window, and then I copied over this password and I pasted it over there, ठीक है. उसके बाद मेरा lab खुल गया, right? उसके बाद I was in this section of the lab console. उसके बाद मैं यहाँ पे I searched Vertex AI. Wait, let me see if you're following. Okay, Amina says she's copied. So I opened this Jupyter lab. Abdullah, I'm recapping it again. So make sure you follow. Okay. So I've opened this Jupyter lab. तो यहाँ पे ये खुला मेरे को, ठीक है. यहाँ पे I went into this. Wait, I'll show you what that was. Okay, so when you open this, you'll find this generative AI का folder. You open that generative AI का folder inside of this Jupyter notebook. Right, I'll just go over there. ठीक है. See, you have the generative AI का folder. And then go over inside of this language wala folder. Inside of that, you'll have prompts wala folder. Go inside of that. ठीक है. Now यहाँ पे you'll need the file that we are using. You'll find that here. You'll double click on that. It will open up in the current section. ठीक है. Can you see the code now? Now what I did was I ran all of these basic scripts. जो pip के scripts है. I ran these. Make sure कि 2 pip के scripts run कर रहे हैं. The order of the scripts are exactly as how they are arranged. Like the first script, the first one here. So you run this. The second one, the pip. ठीक है. Exactly जैसा वो arrange करे हुए stack में, you have to run this in the same order. Otherwise it won't run. It will give you some error. So did you guys run these pip scripts? ठीक है. Now I'll be proceeding. It gave me a long error. उसके बाद okay, it'll restart the kernel. उसको okay बोल दो and then move forward. So यहाँ पे you can see this import IPython and some other scripts. You just run this again. I'm not doing it here because I've done it. इसके बाद you can see some import. You click on this and run. And then the main section, import libraries का section. This is important. यहाँ पे you have to copy project ID and region. ये कहाँ से copy करना है? You'll have this at the start of this lab. जहाँ पे start lab बोल के click किए थे, you can find this project ID and region. You have to copy this and paste it inside of these variables. अब ये हो रहा क्या बोले तो why is this useful बोले तो the cloud environment that you are using, it will use this variable used us east 4. Basically जो machines है, there are a lot of machines that are kept across US, and we are actually renting these machines through Google Cloud, right? So the region that the machine lies is this region that they have specified. So that is why we need these parameters to run this lab. ठीक है. I'll rerun this again. मेरा मॉडल लोड हो गया. Can I continue? I'll be starting over with the prompt part now. Have you guys reached this stage? Satvik and Abdullah. ठीक है, I'll be going over. So देखो, imagine कि you are building an AI application. Okay, Abdul Razak, there is no worries. You can just restart this lab again. Just close this console and restart it again and follow these steps, or you can do it later as well. I'll continue with the class right now. So first of all, imagine you're preparing an application. So what you need to do is, abhi whatever modules that you imported, you can see कि उसका use क्या रहेगा. This generation model. See, generation model is loaded from the files that you imported. Yani, you can access the model or you can speak to the model using this variable now. Whenever you click on generate model dot, you can access all of the methods and uh, variables that it has inside of it. For example, generate model, what it can do, it can predict, right? It can predict the upcoming responses. So you have this method that they've defined, that the Google team has defined. Okay, so I click on this dot predict, and uske andar I can give these parameters. So just give me a second. All right, so it says module not found error. इसका मतलब you did not run the pip वाला command अच्छे से. Just run it in the exact order जो उसमें है. The first pip wala first, the second wala second. So what I was saying is when you click on this predict, it will return you something. This predict is a function that is, what is a function? A function is something that this model does. So whenever you run this function, even if it is outside of this console, whenever you run this, it will return you something. So if this is an LLM, so you're giving it a prompt, it will return you a bunch of text. So that is what we are trying to print here. Okay, I'll just run this and I'll show you what happens. Okay, so what do you think could be a good name for a flower shop? So this was the prompt that was given. Okay, now you can see that this is made up of a lot of words, right? So it is actually a bad practice to give a lot of words. इसलिए it is, we are actually trying to compare the outputs from a good prompt to a bad prompt. Okay, so now this was a wordy prompt. अब मैं I'll concise it and I'll prompt it again. Okay, so it gave me some different kind of response. As you can see कि इसके responses में there is not a lot of difference, but there is some difference, right? So there is, that means कि this is not hard coded inside. The model is actually generating on the fly. Okay, so this is the first practice that you will be using. कि whenever you're prompting to the Gemini model, you'll be using a short amount of words, because उससे होगा कि the word limit is not exceeded and you get a quality output. So where is this useful? You might ask me, where is this useful? Suppose you're building your own chat GPT, right? You take the, you have to make an API call to this Gemini model, right? You have to run this. But before you run this, you can do something that is kind of smart. What you can do is you can take the prompt given by the user, and then you can actually shape it. You can actually reword it and make it a bit short. That, so that ये जो API model में जाएगा, that prompt is a bit concise. Okay, so you can remember this when you're trying to build some application. Okay, and the second thing that we're trying to do is be specific and well defined. So okay, as you can see, the prompt is very vague. Tell me about Earth. And the second prompt is generate a list of ways that makes Earth unique compared to other planets. So the first guy, he just mentioned key, tell me about Earth. But the second guy, he wants an exact comparison of the Earth to other planets. And as you can see कि यहाँ पे there are some maximum tokens parameters that you can also adjust. So when you're trying this API out, you can also try to adjust these parameters based on your requirements. Okay, I'll just run this. Okay, so it gave me a bunch of output. Okay, he's telling कि ये error आ रहा. Name generation model is not defined. इसका मतलब क्या है कि generation model is defined up here, right? Where is generation model defined? A large part of development is always debugging. So even if things are not going right the way that you want, you can always debug. So you can see कि just try to make sure कि ये model run किया, like the generate model वाला जो script है, you've run this. Okay, this is a huge error. So Satvik says he has a इतना बड़ा error. Okay. I just mentioned you कि pip में एक error आएगा. You can ignore that, the red part of the error. At the end, it'll give you a short message कि the required documents have been installed. For example, if you look at my log, there is a bunch of downloads. उसके बाद it gave me some error, which was something like this. You can ignore this one error for this lab, not everywhere, but here. In this lab, you can ignore this one. Or if you can rerun this pip wala line again, it will be good. Okay, now yep, the session's recording will be available. Yeah, you're basically Usman, I think you did not run this. Generate model equals to text generation. ये जो line है, you have to run this. What you're trying to do is you're trying to call this generate model variable, but it is not defined, which means कि ये line run नहीं किए थे ऊपर. So just rerun this again and try to run this 14th वाला. ठीक है, for others who are following, can you guys drop some key you've been be specific and well defined wala part? Wait, what is Satvik's error? On which line are you getting this error? You can also unmute and talk to me right now.
The B concises thing.
Okay, so if you try to run this prompt, it is throwing you some error. So just make sure कि उसके ऊपर के जो सारे cells है, you've run it in order. And also this project ID, did you copy this project ID and region?
Yes.
Did you run all of these lines in order from the first?
Yes.
Did you wait for each command to execute? Like if you run this, it'll run and it'll say that this is done.
Yeah, I did.
Try doing it again.
Okay.
For most people, it should work, I think. So is there anybody else who is getting the same error? All right, so I'll be moving on. Satvik, we can debug this later on as well. Okay. So now I'll be talking about ask one task at a time. This is the third part of this lab. यहाँ पे it is saying कि whatever task that you're defining, you should ask it one task at a time. You should not give it as a bundled command. So as you can see, if I run this, there will be a significant amount of difference in the output. The output generated was the best method of boiling water is to use a kettle. The sky is blue because of a phenomenon. Okay, so this was a really bad prompt. See, in the best practice, you can see the best amount of is to use a kettle. A kettle is a pot with spout that is designed. So as you can see, the output the uh, for the prompt which is designed at one task at a time is better than the other task. See, he's broken down the large prompt into two different prompts so that the context is not uh, mixed up. For example, if you see the context is mixed up and it is bundled in a single output, that is what you don't want. So I'll run all of this. Also, there is this a very interesting topic, getting the same error how many times. Okay, I think I've read this. There is this very interesting phenomena that happens with LLMs. It is hallucinations. So hallucination is a word in terms of like where human beings see a lot of some kind of non-existent beings. So in terms of LLMs, the same thing happens. What happens is it'll try to cook up something that does not exist or that is not a fact. For example, if you've tried with ChatGPT, you say it ki the world is flat, and then you ask how does the world look like? Ki it'll respond you with flat. So that is not actually true. So most of the LLMs have this problem, hallucinations. इसके वास्ते you have this prompt design that is recommended. ठीक है? So if you read, okay, because see, if you read over this, you'll understand कि Luna's trip to the moon was a success. She spent several days, but we actually do not know if Luna went to the moon or not. It is trying to generate something over the fly. Okay, so I'll just run all of these commands in order. It generated me some command. Okay, I'll just do this again. Okay, so after you've done that, you can also use LLMs for classification tasks. For example, a very popular machine learning problem is key. You try to classify things. For example, you have an image of a cat or a dog. You ask the machine, "What is this? Is this a cat or is this a dog?" Now, based on the previous data and how it is trained, uh, how you train, basically what you do is pehle to you give in the label data ki okay, this image corresponds to this cat and this image corresponds to this dog. You give 1,000 of these images and then you try to give a new image which has not been in the data set already. So the AI model will try to predict ki okay, based on my previous inputs, this is a cat or this is a dog. This is exactly what we're trying to do with this chat model right here. You can give it a bunch of options and tell key see, you can give it a bunch of options and ask it to respond. It'll classify and it'll give you the response. So there is also this zero shot prompt. uh, Sometimes you don't give examples to the LLM, and that is where this is useful. Sometimes you have to give it examples key. Suppose you're looking for a good book and you ask ChatGPT key, I'm looking for some good book to read, and you did not ask, you did not give any genre or anything. Sometimes you give it key, okay, I'm looking for certain books and here are the books that I've already read and these are my preferences. So there will obviously be difference in the output generated, right? So I'll just quickly run over this. So okay, this is basically what we've discussed till now. At the end you can see key it has this, it is working in this Gemini model is be responding to your text inside of this testing environment. So after you've run all of these commands, make sure you run all of this. So you go over to this section where you open this lab. यहाँ पे you can see कि some check marks are provided. You can test कि कितना progress हुआ and कितना progress नहीं हुआ lab में. So you click on this. Okay. I've run this be concise wala part successfully and it checked my progress. So I'll do this for all of my tasks. And I urge you people also follow the same thing. Suppose कि यहाँ पे कुछ error आ रहा, then you'll have to rerun this the files that are corresponding to this. For example, turn generative tasks into classification. You go over to that section and rerun this again. उससे होगा कि यहाँ पे your assessment will be completed. So आप लोग में से कितनों की progress हो गई यहाँ पे? You guys can respond in the chat. Okay, Madhiha also has some errors. There are a lot of errors. So I think your model is not loaded या फिर something like that did not execute well. So एक बार you close this lab or you close this lab and try to rerun this lab again. I think वो कुछ load नहीं हुआ. So some people are done. At the end of the session, we'll be having a short quiz for those who stuck around till the end. Okay, so okay, sometimes कि यहाँ पे भी check my progress run नहीं होगा. It says कि please run the recommended cells for the section and wait for it in a few minutes. Sometimes even if you've run it, ये progress update नहीं होगा यहाँ पे. So there is no need to worry. Just go here and run this again. What section did it tell me? Yeah. Be specific and well defined. So I'll go over. Okay, so as you can see, मेरे को भी error आया यहाँ पे. It is common to get an error. You don't have to panic. You just have to go over to this section. मेरे को वो बोला कि be specific and well defined. You did not run this again. See, I intentionally did not run this so that you guys can see this error. So sometimes ऐसे errors आएंगे. So you'll have to run this. And okay. I'm sure it will take some time to update. ठीक है. So that was it. I think a lot of people लोग के error हो गए and okay, जिसके भी errors आए we can deal with it by restarting the lab. एक बार close करके फिर से restart करके देखो. You can read over the instructions and okay, some people are done with the assessment. Are we going to start the quiz? Mine.
Yes. We'll be starting soon. The link will be shared with you on the.
Yep, you can end this lab now. यहाँ पे जो भी progress है वो it will be saved here. If you end this lab, यहाँ पे rate कर दो. Just close this session. ठीक है? Now when you open this section, यहाँ पे दिखाएगा कि this lab is completed. ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो right tick mark दिखा रहा, it means कि my this lab has been completed. यहाँ पे 25% complete हो गया. So there are these 4 labs that we have to go over and complete in order to finish this pathway. Yes, Usman, you can end this lab if you have the 100% complete. अच्छा, bear in mind कि अगर वो 100% नहीं हुआ the progress, then even if you complete it, ये you will not get this 25% complete. So make sure कि वो जो भी required tasks है वो 100% complete हुए. ठीक है, so uh, to all of the AI enthusiasts over here, you've learned some pretty new concepts. For example, you've learned that AI is built up of, I'll just recap over whatever that I've discussed. AI is built up of statistics, it is built up with mathematics, and it is also built up with computer code. So uh, and also we've discussed some concepts like one-shot prompting, we've discussed what hallucinations are, and we've discussed how you can import these into the cloud console, into the cloud Jupyter notebook environment. ये बहुत hard लगेगा, but when you do this again and again and again, then you'll be familiar with this. So just don't quit with it. If it is hard, just follow it along. I'm sure you guys will be great developers. ठीक है, mine will be taking over. Thank you guys.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all had a good session. So it's time for the quiz now. You all can join the quiz by tapping the link which is sent in the chat. It would be really nice if you guys used your name.
Okay, we'll be starting with the quiz soon. So till then, you guys can drop whatever. Uh, have you joined the quiz or not? Okay, just wait for a few seconds.
All right, I think that we have 51 participants now. I think everyone has joined. We'll be starting the quiz.
Hisham is leading the game, by the way. Okay, Mir. There's Karishma. Who is this HS? And I am. Okay, Shamaria. Abdul Rafe. Okay, who is this MMAR2? That sounds like a name of a planet. So, is Hisham still leading? uh, are all of you done with the quiz? Is everybody done with the quiz? Okay. Most of them, I think, are done. I can see some anime fans. Dania, Monkey D. Luffy. Okay, it was nice to see a lot of you participate in this quiz. Right. Okay. Don't worry, Noman. Like, we'll have a lot of quizzes. You can maybe try again in the next quiz, get a better rank. Anyways, thank you guys for attending to this session, and I will be sharing this recording later. You may leave now.